So I got a phone call in 1982 from Diane Cox saying that they were organizing a group of women in commercial real estate, and did I want to come?
And the idea was to brainstorm about all the women we knew in commercial real estate. And Sandy, Diane Cox, and Joan Copeland had read an article about Cru forming in Washington, D.C. and thought we should form an organization here.
In the beginning, when I joined Cru, it was a little bit intimidating to walk into a room full of very polished women and fit in and become a part of that group.
We all thought it was a fabulous idea, and we decided from the beginning we wanted to do it.
And it turned out that that was the whole mission. Hey, look, there's a good old boys network out there. We need our own good old girls network, and so that was the whole mission of Cru from the beginning.
There were so few women in commercial real estate, and we individually just felt like we were alone because we typically were the only woman in our company. Whatever we were doing, everybody else was men.
When Cru Atlanta first began, only men were considered to be the movers and shakers in the commercial real estate industry in Atlanta.
So in the early days, there was a lot of resistance to Cru, and especially from the men. Oh, it was awful.
And in fact, one of my longtime colleagues who attended a Cru event simply couldn't resist joking that he was drowning in a sea of estrogen.
That one of the senior executives in her firm, who was male, said, "Well, you're the crew, not the captains." And there were those sort of snide remarks probably occasionally, but I think the people who were supportive, my boss was tremendously supportive. When I told him, we had the meeting to start it and I was going to be on the board, he goes, "Absolutely, you should do that." So I think the people who wanted to see us succeed far outweighed the detractors.
When we were in the early days of Cru Atlanta, and the men would kind of laugh at the fact that we had a women's organization, we decided, we met and picked out who do we want on the advisory board.
I think there were either 6 or 8 men on that advisory board, but we had that board for many years thinking that that was a way to legitimize Cru. And it obviously worked, and then there came a time when we could disband it. But that's what we did in the early days because we got so much criticism from a lot of different factions.
Well, the early days, it was really, I would say, it was figure it out as we went along. And that was everything from planning programs to pulling together enough women. We were kind of seat of the pants, but it worked.
We didn't have an executive director at that point. We really just, everybody was rolling up their sleeves and doing whatever it took to bring members in, to bring sponsors in, and to create and offer the best programs possible for our membership. We, of course, had struggled somewhat with our programs because we also needed free speakers for that, but it always seemed that we ended up with a great program of folks from around Atlanta who could talk about how great our city is, and it was a really wonderful experience.
We didn't even think of doing events in the beginning, and to go to a Cru event now and see all the people there and the dramatic changes. I mean, we started out with such a small group, and we would beg someone to be in any of our events, and to see that, now how successful they are, it's just kind of amazing.
From that seat of the pants organization, that's what makes me so proud to see how Cru has evolved today.
Joining Cru Atlanta was probably the best thing I could have done at the time. It gave me the opportunity to meet people, it taught me how to network, it taught me how to work on committees, and it was really a very important part of my career development.
Okay, seeing the strength of the organization today, again, it makes me really proud. Everything from formal leadership development with Leadership Cru, the kinds of programs that are done, the connections that are made, the charitable and community focus for the organization. It's become an important institution in the city of Atlanta. The important part is, if you're going to join an organization, then you need to embrace it and get involved.
Crew Atlanta now is different, and because it has total credibility. It is, I mean, everyone knows who Crew Atlanta is.
I will have to say, aside from all the professional benefits, I look back on my crew involvement, and the thing that's nearest and dearest to my heart are the friendships. And you know, these women, we're best friends, we're lifelong friends. So that's one of the real benefits that's important to me.
You have to join. You have to join. If you're a woman in commercial real estate in Atlanta, you're going to get a whole lot more out of it than what you put into it.
Because it's hard to even contemplate raising the bar even further, but I have every faith in the current membership that that's exactly what they'll do.